So in today's video, we've got a special treat, a new update to the FCS Storage Solutions beta. So if you watched the last video I did where I tested out the Storage Solutions beta, then you already know some of the problems I had. I couldn't buy anything because it just wouldn't let me buy anything. I couldn't make any money, but I gave myself money and I still couldn't buy anything. And it's just a bunch of problems. And basically it was one of those things you got to test out with creative mode. And that's cool for certain things, but I don't want to do that. So now one of the new things that's been added in with this beta is the ore crusher, not the consumer anymore. It was the ore consumer, and it still calls it the ore consumer in the text, but it's the ore crusher, and we have to get a kit for it. So I gotta create my credit card account so I can, you know, have a way to pay for things. So let's take a look. We've got home. All right, 1,000 dollarinis credits for that, so we're gonna have to get that to make some money. Still got these 0 for that. Okay. Base manager display, I already know I can build that, so unless that's changed I won't need to worry about that. These are the modules. That's not necessary yet. While this is the storage solutions, we do have one thing for production, which is the ion cube generator, so you know I'm excited about that. But here's the real meat of the storage solutions is the storage stuff, you know, remote storage, so you can put it outside if you don't want to have a full base. You know, I did this with the remote storage and the deep driller, so it had a place for the deep drillers to store stuff. It works for that if you want to do that. The antenna to connect between the bases so you can share items and ship them between. The floor server rack, which holds 20 disks, and the wall server rack, which holds 6. These I've used in the Cyclops. This is what you want to use inside your base when you got room. The terminal, we're going to need that to interact with our storage. And then we got a DSS integration. Links data storage to the base manager. And that's a module, requires a module rack. So that doesn't go in the, like the transceiver used to go in the server racks because it was a disk. Now it goes into the module rack. So we need the data disk. Oh, that's a lot of money. You know, let's start off. I don't like a lot of debt. We're just going to go with the ore crusher for 1,000. And we'll buy it. And I don't have enough money. I just got the card. You're supposed to give me credit. Okay, so the debt does not seem to be working right now. Give credit is the command. So I'm going to just give myself 1,000 credits. So, yep, got account balance 1,000. So we're going to purchase it. Oh, saw it. And it's already in my my inventory. So let's go and build this. So let me see. Drone port. Apparently, I don't need the drone port for shipping to work now, which is obviously is supposed to use the drone port, but yeah, I'm cool with that. It's one less thing I have to have in the way. 10 item slots. We got ore value and the processing. It's got speed. Wow. Okay, so we drop it from 90 seconds to 45, so cuts it in half. Cuts it by down by 15 seconds and then by 7. So if you really want to use a lot of power, you can, you know, speed it up 23 seconds for each. I think low 45 seconds will be good. And then we click add ores, which I don't have anything right now. So it just does that. Now, one thing it is missing right now is the fact that we don't have the deep driller, which is the way you get a lot of supplies. You just set one going, tell it what you want, and it starts just generating all the supplies for you, at least all the mineable materials. So I don't have that. So that is going to slow things down, and that I can't just go and set that up and let it generate a bunch of money, especially with Kyanite being 37,500. But at least those 5 should get me at least most of the way to getting a server rack. So while that's going very quickly, actually, I don't have the deep driller. Like I said, it's not in this implementation yet. So I need another place I can get plenty of resources and preferably replenishable resources. And that is why I'm coming to Sea Treader's Path, because they will constantly generate more outcrops and poop, if that's what you're into. I mean, if you're one of those people who just likes going around picking up poop, just get a dog, you know. It's a lot better than picking up Sea Treader poop. This is certainly not the most entertaining way to go about getting supplies, but it definitely is, I would say, more involved. It keeps you busy. Okay, just the diamond alone should be enough to get me a good chunk of money going for this. So, yeah, right now, if you don't want to just give yourself credits until you get the deep driller in the game for this, just seriously head to, well, not that, okay. Yeah, head to the Sea Treasures Path and fill up every bit of storage you can on your sea moth. I mean, like, seriously, you don't even have to have the drill arm or anything. Just swim around, grab stuff, fill up your storage, and then come back. You're gonna get at least almost 2.5, you know, backpack worth of supplies in one trip. So let's spend some money, because I got money. I'm gonna need terminal C48. It'll start with one server. And, you know, funny enough, the server rack is cheaper than a single disc. So even if I just go with one disc, which is 48 items per disc, that is 500,078. So, you know what? For now, let's just take this and this out, because I can afford that. Oh, no card detected. So I now have to keep the card on me. I can't just, oh, okay, you know, can't just have it in my storage. All right, great. I gotta hold on to the card. But this means I could take out the resource monitor, which was a nice temporary mod until, you know, I get this back. And now I got this back. So we're gonna go with the big terminal. Yeah, you know, that's fine right there. And while I'm going to need the base manager display. I guess we'll do that like, well, it's not lining up quite where I want it. You know what? Fine. We'll just do it right there. That's fine. So that I know is going to have to do a few things, like tie in with some things. Base manager module rack. Okay, so this is where we throw in those module disc. Instead of like the transceiver going in the rack itself, it now goes in this to add extra features. So you could use your storage, you know, your racks entirely for storage now, which makes a lot more sense. And what was it? I need, what's my cart? 374. So I can buy a server rack and a data disk. Well, let's do that. Here we go. So right in the middle, smack dab, middle of the room. So we got that. We're opening up. Okay. Yes. Yep. All right. Same thing. Putting in the disc. So you got room for 20 disc. And it shows number 1 right there above the hand. You see 1 through 10, 11 through 20, and oh, okay, it's different. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going side to side here, but instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1 through 10 this way and 11 through 20. So, you know, not a big thing. But I'm sure some people, especially people with OCD, are going to be like, why isn't this the same? I also got a lot of gold on that little trip. So let's try it with gold. 15,000. So, you know, not as good as diamond. Also, definitely not as good as kyanite. But again, gold, lithium, and diamond, endless supply from the outcrops generated in the Sea Treasure Path. Buying data disk number 2. We'll go throw this in here. Pop it in. Boom. Okay. So we've got 1 and 2. Let's see. Okay, so no settings right now on the disk. Not doing that either. Not doing. Okay, so at some point that will be completely added in. Again, this is a beta, and you got to be on their Patreon as a supporter to get this. Okay, lithium and gold are the same value. 15,750. All right, so at the least, you're going to get a lot of stuff that's worth 15,750 credits when you go out to the Sea Treasure Path to try to get diamond, which is worth 20,000 something. All right, let's buy a couple more data disks so I have more storage. You know I got to try the ion cube generator. And let's check out the DSS integration module. So first, we'll just go ahead and do the DSS integration module. Links data storage to the base manager, allowing DSS access to direct device storage and transceiver automation from DSS. So You know, it feels like I'm supposed to have that so I could tie in some of the production, like, you know, you get the hydroponic harvester so that it can automatically dump into your storage or dump into the auto crafter. It feels like this is now being considered part of that, and that you need that for the automation to work. And let's test out an ion cube generator, so I don't have to keep going over there to get ion cubes. And this is a new design, new looking design. So open storage of 4, even though storage there shows 3. Yep, though. Okay. You know, it's like 3 little boxes. And then we got the same thing. Overclock basically is on, or, you know, what speed. We got minimum, low, high, max. Let's see how much the max is. Whoa. Okay, that's interesting. Background. And it follows you whichever way you move around it. Interesting. You see, my power is not decreasing right now, considering that I'm running it on maximum. It's dropping like a point, and that's it. So I'm gonna let this generate a bunch of ion cubes now. Oh! Okay, I was coming over here, dumped some supplies in, and I saw all this stuff just showing up there. I was like, wait a second, I know I didn't put that in. So the DSS ties it in with the rest of your storage too. Yeah, it still says 192 items because that's the server racks, but it basically ties this in with that storage. So if you do want to have a mixture, you can. Okay, it says I'm only using 189 out of 192. So I should be able to put in 3 more items, but I can't put anything else in. So it's treating it like it's full, even though this is Stalker Teeth, 1 slot. It's still not letting me put in. So something's not quite right there, but it's not a major deal. If I lose 3 inventory spots off of it, and I'm good with that. That's okay. That's not a problem. And we've got 4 out of 4 storage. So let's open it up. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it starts again. You see this little black kind of matrixy looking screen cube, and then it starts this whole thing. Obviously, the animation part is not done. So again, it's a beta. Already running low on diamond, gold, and lithium from the last trip. So time to come back, grab some more. Let's check out the other 2 module discs. So we got a transceiver module and a remote connection module. So see all base devices from the base manager remotely. Okay, and I see that just turned as remote data link on. And then we're going to do transceiver module, which supports 5 automation operations. And see encyclopedia, and the encyclopedia is not fully there yet. So we've got that. So we go now to this. And, well, connections, work units. Okay, there's add work unit. So ion cube generator. Okay. Well, okay, I'm not sure what that's supposed to do then. Guess we'll see when it gets more developed. Maybe that's for the automation aspect of it. And connections just comes back here. Okay, well, you know, it's something that's there for when the next update comes, and I can put it to use then. And I do remember that there was some way in the legacy version of the mods that you could automate dumping. I think that was one of the things I had to use the remote storage unit for. You know, this one is I used it to receive the kyanite in the inactive lava zone, and then from it was pushing or having the kyanite pulled from it into the ore consumers so that they were constantly being refilled and I didn't have to touch it. So I'm hoping we get the same thing once these mods are finished. 384 capacity and 350 is what it's letting me put in. So I have to assume, like, if I take out, well, okay, I took one of those out and it did not decrease the count. So I know earlier I put in a 2x2 4 slot item, like metal salvage, and it only went up by 1 point. So I'm thinking now that even though it's counting it by single item, it's doing pretty much the same as the auto sort lockers, which will tell you how many items are in the locker. It'll say like 17 items in this locker. And oh, I didn't realize I had all those. But when it says 17, it's not, you know, if it's 4 slots taken up, it still counts as 1 item. So that leaves really only a handful of things to test out, which we really don't have to test them out. The small terminal, smaller screen, basically more for depositing, you know, items in, and then maybe be able to grab 1 item. It says single item access terminal. You know, if you're cheap, go ahead with that. If you got a spot you just need a single item for occasionally, it works great. Otherwise, splurge for the big one. And then, of course, the wall rack. Again, it sits storage disk. That's it. Right now, I'm just going to focus on getting everything into the tall floor server rack. You know, it's 20 versus 6. So you want to go with the bigger one if you want more storage. This is better, obviously, for the Cyclops, so you can use that lower compartment area. And then the antenna, so you can tie it in with other bases, which is the only other thing I might end up doing soon, is setting that up so I can connect one of these and some of these in the Cyclops, which kind of means if the auto transfer works into these like it used to for the sea moth docking and dumping into this automatically, technically I don't even need the auto sort lockers anymore. But I will test that later before I commit to it. But yeah, if you want to check it out, I will have it linked for their Patreon below. You just have to be a supporter. I can't remember if it's a certain tier or not, but you just have to be a supporter so you can go and get access to these. And hey, nothing else. You don't care about storage? Ion Cube Generator. So you don't have to go and sit there drilling with your prawn suit and then waiting for the ion cubes to come back. It's a time saver. It's worth it.